Today I would like to talk to you about the hip flexors, especially the hip flexors relating to extended length conditioning. This is specific to martial artists, especially throwing the front kick, but the same exercise I'm about to demonstrate can be used for gymnasts, dancers, cheerleaders. What a lot of people don't know is that the hip flexors need to be also very strong in extreme range of motion or extended length conditioning. Okay? Now, this way I'm not talking about the kicking leg anymore, but I'm talking about the supporting leg. Let me explain what I mean. When a front kick is thrown, if the hamstring is not flexible enough, the pelvis will shift to allow the hamstring to be a little bit longer. Okay, this can be rotation of the pelvis. The rotation of the pelvis causes the lengthening of the hip flexor. Okay, that's one point. The second point is when the body, let's say this is the most that you have the flexibility in your hamstring, so if the leg goes up, the body will go back to compensate. Because you can't bring the leg up anymore, you have no flexibility in your hamstring, let's say that's the case, the body goes back. If the body goes back, you could see that now the hip flexor takes the pressure, because my body is behind the center of gravity, so the hip flexor as well as the abdominals is under pressure in the stretched range of motion. Okay? So, for me not to get injured, now we're talking about supporting leg again, not the kicking leg, because most people practice the kick, most people do some kind of conditioning for the hip flexors in the normal range, but for the extended range, not to get hurt, the muscle must be strong in this range. Okay? Abdominals as well, but most people do exercise for the abdominals, so that's not a problem. Okay? Very often people do this exercise, sometimes to the weight, sometimes not. Good exercise, but it does not isolate the hip flexors. Okay? Because also the hamstring on this side, the glutes on this side, a little bit of quadriceps here. I also work in quadriceps here. So it's not only this muscle. We would like to isolate this muscle. Okay? And I'll show you how to do that. You're going to take a block. You're going to place it right behind your pelvis. So the top of the block is going to be right here, where quote unquote the waist is. Okay? I'm going to lie down. Now on one leg, we're going to do obviously this exercise on both sides, but you should never do anything on one side, but I'm just going to put it on one leg that I'm going to demonstrate with. In this case, it's going to be my left leg, let's say. So, taking the ankle weights, placing it here. Okay. So I'm going to be working on the hip flexors. Now, if I simply do this, I don't know if you can see, but my pelvis can shift. My pelvis shifts. So the movement is not necessarily from here, but also from the pelvis, from the abdominals. Maybe I'm pushing back down with this leg to help. I don't want that. I want this muscle to work and nothing else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the block, like I showed you, under my hips, pull this knee in. This way the pelvis is stabilized. It can't move because this knee is here. And lift. I'm going to keep the knee locked. Okay? Keeping the knee locked. I feel the stretch here. I'm pretty flexible, but I still feel the stretch here. And I'm going to bring it back up and down. I don't have to bring the leg all the way up. Just a small range of motion, the one that I need, the extended length conditioning. The more I pull the knee, the more I feel the stretch here. Okay? But I'm keeping this knee here to stabilize it. And up. And down. Keeping the knee locked. Because if I bend the knee, that's it. Nothing is happening here. So it's locked. And this exercise also is going to help you for your true front split. Okay? Because when you do a true front split, there's only so much that your hamstring can do Some of the flexibility got to come from the hip flexors. And next week I'm going to show you how to strengthen this muscle specifically, and mainly next week I'm going to show you the difference between a true front split and an open front split, since I got a lot of questions about that.